Hey everybody, thanks for joining. For those of you who were here last week, welcome back. For those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome to Wine Time with Nectar of the Dogs Wine. I'm Melanie. This is Vinny. You should have been. Well, happy Friday. Happy Good Friday, right? Yeah, absolutely. Cheers. Why are we here today? Well, you know, we're all doing these virtual happy hours with colleagues and family and friends, and we're all just kind of holed up drinking anyway. So I had this idea to put this together. I had a wonderful group of people to help me put this together. But what we're going to do for these next few Fridays in April, maybe a little longer depending on what happens with COVID-19, is we're going to just be here drinking some wine, telling you a little bit about the company, who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do. And then we're going to feature a different dog rescue organization every week. Last week we had Geraldine Gilliland with Chiquita's Friends. This week we're going to be talking to Miriam Davenport from spcaLA. So I want to just tell you a little bit about the company. We're Nectar of the Dogs Wine, and why we started this company. We started this company in 2015, co-founded it with a friend of mine, and it was really just a way to honor the dogs that changed our lives. We wanted to create easy drinking wine that a lot of people could enjoy so that we could sell a lot of wine and give back to dog rescue organizations. Each bottle we sell, we're able to give 10% of our proceeds to different organizations. To date, we've given over $7,000 to different organizations, including All American Dachshund Rescue, Bark Party, spcaLA, Chiquita's Friends, as I just mentioned, Hollywood Huskies, and that's just to name a few. So all the dogs on the label were our dogs that passed on to the Rainbow Bridge. There are 9 different dogs on the label. As I mentioned, I co-founded with a friend of mine. These dogs here are just 4 of the dogs. These are the dogs that belong to my husband and I, Connie, Clyde, and Floyd, and Mika. And if you go to the website, you can learn a little bit more about them and just, you know, see what they're like, what they were like when they were alive. And that was the inspiration for the label. You know, here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, our motto is, it's not really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Case in point, right here. And I get this question asked quite a lot when we're doing events. Is this dog wine? No, it is not dog wine, it's people wine. So, you know, nobody really likes to drink alone, and normally I would have a friend here drinking with me, but since that's not possible due to COVID-19, I want to see what my friend Monica Pontrelli is doing over in Northridge. Monica, what's happening?
Hey Mel, I'm here.
Cheers. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday.
All right, I'm actually going to drink now.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little bit about the wine that we're drinking today. Today we're featuring our Rosé of Malbec right here. Let's take a peek at what this is all about. So our Rosé Malbec, these are 100% Malbec grapes from Santa Barbara County. We sell for $26 a bottle. Actually, all of our rosés are $26 a bottle. If you go to the website, you'll see I'm offering a 30% case discount, not only on this varietal, but on all the other varietals as well. These are my dogs, Bronny and Vinny. I just got these cute little outfits for them, so they're all ready for summer. I had to take about 100 pictures to get that one, but they just wanted to say Happy Easter, and please visit the website and buy some wine. Again, when you're drinking with us, you're drinking for a great cause.
Do they
so
like
Monica? What? No, they hate dressing up. Actually, they didn't do too bad on the hats, but he just woke up from a nap, so I don't know. He's kind of quiet here today.
Yeah.
You know, Monica, I wanted just to take a quick second here. Actually, well, he's okay. A little bit about rosés, right? Rosés kind of have a bad rap, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think thanks to that white Zinfandel way back in the day, a lot of people think that rosés are really sweet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. So here's our 3 rosés. I don't know if we can see them. I think I see them there. The first rosé that we bottled was a rosé of Pinot Grigio. This was a 2013. I'd never even heard of a rosé of Pinot Grigio, but I just thought it was such a beautiful color, and I love the way that it tasted. So I may or may not have just mentioned everything we do is a limited varietal edition. So side note, if there is a Nectar wine that you love, make sure that you stock up on it, because there's no guarantee that it may be here next year. Nonetheless, we did 32 cases of the Rosé of Pinot Grigio and sold out very quickly. I think I just only have a few bottles for myself. The next, you might have one too, Monica. I don't know. It's exclusive to Wine Club members.
I'm not saying.
You might. So then the next one that we did was the Rosé Malbec, the 2016 from Santa Barbara County, as I just mentioned. And I think when when we sold out of the Rosé Pinot Grigio, I was looking for something with a similar flavor profile and came across this. And you being a Wine Club member and some others, we tasted the different rosés and we all fell in love with this one, and this is what we ended up with. We are actually almost out of this. I think we only have 10 cases, so if you love the Rosé Malbec, make sure to stock up on it. And then the Rosé Pinot Noir is our latest release. This is our 10th varietal. We just released it in November. And you can kind of see, the different colors of the rosé. So there's different varietals, obviously we know that, on different flavor profiles. I would have to say that between these three, the Rosé Pinot Noir is the driest. Next, the Rosé Pinot Grigio, but you can't get it anyway, so don't worry about it. And then the Rosé Malbec. It's not sweet, but I would say that, it definitely has a bigger body than the Rosé Pinot Noir, and people just love it.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Totally.
And Melanie, so one of our recent events, somebody did ask me, what makes a rosé a rosé?
Oh,
and
well,
I got
really
stumped.
You got stumped. Well, there's this thing called the World Wide Web where you can Google whatever you need to find out. But no, rosé is just, the juice is in contact with the skins, right? So the longer that it's in contact with the skins, obviously the deeper color. There are a couple of different ways that you can make a rosé. I will be the first to say I am not a wine maker. I'm a wine drinker, so I learn these things as I go along. But that's basically the gist of the rosé. So, yeah. Why don't you tell us what's been happening with our events, Monica, in light of, the world crisis we're living in?
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot with events, but we did have some really great events lined up for the year, including LA Wine Fest, Ventura Wine Walk, the Spring Festival with the South Coast Botanic Gardens. We do have one in October, which hopefully will stay on the calendar, and that's the La Jolla Art and Wine Festival. But of course, these previous events did get either canceled or postponed to later in the year. And those are really our primary ways of getting in front of customers because we don't have a tasting room or a location. So these events are really, really key for us to get the wines in front of people and the brand out there. And of course, the more wine we sell, the more we can give back. So because these events have been pushed out, we did come up with a really great idea, Melanie, and that's doing some private virtual wine tastings. So if you go to our website, you can buy a case of wine. There are a couple of different options. One includes the red wine, one doesn't. And of course, the wine cases are 30% off. You buy a case of wine and just contact Melanie or I, and we can coordinate a time that's convenient for you and whoever you want to invite into the wine tasting. And Melanie will walk you through all of the varietals that you end up purchasing, and she'll talk about the wine, she'll talk about our story and our dedication to giving back to dog rescue organizations.
That's awesome. That's true. Yes. And before we did this, we were actually doing private tastings with the same premise. The only difference is obviously we can come into your house in person and tell the story to you and your friends. So thanks for sharing that, Monica. So this is Brawny. This is my other dog. They literally are right here taking a nap, so I had to pull them away from their nap. That's probably why they look a little bit tired.
He doesn't look very happy.
He's like, why? It's funny because every other time they're just like jumping on me like, wait, I want to be, where you're at. So I'm going to just talk a little bit more here about our Rosé of Pinot Noir for a sec. As I just mentioned, we released this last November. We had a really, really cool event at the St. Felix in Hollywood. And hopefully we're going to be able to get out, like you're just saying, and do more events. But we have partnered with the spcaLA on a few different events going back all the way to 2017. The first event that we partnered on was actually the release of the Rosé of Malbec, and we donated $1,000 at that event. And then we sponsored some wine for Madeline Bernstein. She's the president of spcaLA, and she wrote a book called Designer Dogs, and so we were there at a beautiful home in Bel Air, and that's her and I. And then most recently, the picture in the middle, that's the one I mentioned, we We had the event at the St. Felix, and that's Madeline right there on the left. Not only did we partner with spcaLA for that one, we also worked with Pet Orphans of Southern California. So I think we raised about $1,500, and we split the proceeds between the organizations. You know, spcaLA is very well known. It's a very old organization, but we also try to give to ones who are not so well known, and we just want to give back. So Todd, why don't we take a look at that video, and then we'll talk to Madeline right after that. That was such a fun event. Remember, Monica, it was a really, really cool event. But let's see what Miriam is doing over. Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President of spcaLA, Miriam Davenport. Hi, Miriam.
Hello.
How
Nice
are
to
you?
see you for having me. Very well,
Nice
thank
to
you.
see you too. Cheers. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday.
Yes, happy Friday to you as well.
And who is this lovely little fur baby on your lap?
This is Pepper. She is a pretty new addition for us. We actually adopted her from spcaLA in our Long Beach location just this past September. So she is our newest little fur friend.
Oh my gosh, she's adorable. So cute. Miriam, so, you know, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people know about spcaLA, but why don't you tell us a little bit more? What is spcaLA?
Sure. So spcaLA stands for the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Los Angeles. And we have actually been here in the community since 1877. So
Wow.
we've been around for a while, right? And one thing that's really nice, I think, about the longevity of the organization is we've been through the Spanish flu in 1918. We've been through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, any number of natural disasters, and we continue to serve and we continue to prevent cruelty to animals through education, law enforcement, intervention, and advocacy. And we're really only able to do it because of the support of people like you. So I'm so excited to be here.
That is just amazing. Wow, that's a long time. You know, we keep hearing about, I think in our lifetime, obviously, yeah, nobody's been through a global pandemic, so it's just, there's no words for it. It's just weird.
Exactly.
But you know, this organization has been through things like that. So when you take a look at the longevity of an organization like spcaLA, it's pretty amazing. So we have we have 4 dogs that you wanted to showcase. Let's talk about these first 2, Sombra and Ford. So cute.
I know. I love it. Sombra's face to me is just very soulful, very sweet. And she's a wonderful pit mix. She's about 8 years old. She's just, she just would like to relax and enjoy life with you. She would prefer a home with either older kids or just adults. And then we have Ford, who is an amazing dog. He's a Chihuahua. He's about 8 years old. One thing that's really cool about him is he has worked in our TLC program, which is a program for underserved youth that helps with violence prevention. And so he's gotten a chance to work with kids. He's done lots of different training activities. So he'd be a really great family dog. But either of them would really love a home. Just come to spcaLA.com and you can learn how to adopt them.
So let me ask you that. Okay, so you get a dog like Ford, for instance. Is he a stray, and then you put him into this TLC program, or like how do you match the dog with the
Yeah,
program? Or
that's a good question.
hmm
He was a stray. He's actually been at spcaLA since about October. He was originally a stray. We just get to know the dogs. We work with our professional training staff, and then we also have volunteers who we train to help, do behavior and training and enrichment activities with the dogs. And as we get to know them, we start to say, hey, maybe he'd be a good candidate. We do a little bit of, sort of extra training with the animal, and if it works out, then we can put them into programs like that. So we have the TLC program, but we also have summer camp. We have pet care patch workshops. We have so many programs for youth.
hmm And then if they become involved in that program, and then they get adopted, are they still part of that program with the new owner, or do they just you find another dog to be a part of that program?
So usually what the program usually lasts between 2 and 4 weeks, depending on the school that we're in or how it is. Typically what happens is you can adopt a dog who's in the program, and you just bring them home when it's completed. So at the graduation, what's
Ah,
really adorable is a lot of people will come to the graduation to, sort of clap for the dog. So it's probably the cutest thing I've ever seen when you
aw.
have, a group of kids and then these people who've adopted the dogs and they get to meet and the kids can tell the adopters all about the dog. It's really amazing.
Wow, that does sound amazing. So before we see the next two dogs, tell me, how has SPCA operations, how have they changed, in light of the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that while everything has changed, also nothing has changed. So we're still doing pet adoptions. We're still taking in, lost animals. We're still housing animals who are the survivors of domestic violence. We're still housing some of their animals for them. We're still investigating animal cruelty. We're still providing educational content and programming for youth. It's just the way that we do all of those things has 100% changed. So if you want to adopt a dog, for example, you can do that by appointment. And we're working really, really hard to place as many animals as we possibly can into permanent homes, so that if we need to start taking in animals because of COVID, either their people are ill or just not able to care for them anymore, we're able to. We have the capacity to do it. So like I said, I mean, everything and nothing has changed. We're
Right.
closed to the public at the moment, but hopefully that'll all change soon. As we flatten the curve.
And how many facilities? Because I see here Long Beach, and yeah, how many are there?
So we have adoption centers in Long Beach, Hawthorne, Los Angeles, and then we have a training center in Burbank. At the
Mm-hmm.
moment, all of our animals are available at Long Beach and Hawthorne. So
Okay.
when you go to the website, you'll see where the animal is located.
And that's great. And then what about fostering? Was there any?
Yeah, we have a dedicated core of foster parents who come and adopt and foster out our animals. In fact, we have about 30 animals or so who are in foster at the moment, sort of around this. To date, we've actually done about 45 adoptions by appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've sent about 2 dozen animals to different rescue organizations that we partner with who also have foster parents. So if you're interested in fostering, you can go to our website and sign up for the wait list. There's a foster interest form. You just go to spcaLA.com and you'll find it.
Great. So it seems like there's a ton of information. I have to say, I'm a failed foster. I fostered once. It was Vinny, and so I think if I foster, and
Yeah.
yeah. Some
The
people
first,
just,
the first one is always a fail. It's fine.
well. All right. So let's take a look at, I think, Maximus in red.
Yeah. Oh, Maximus and Red. So Maximus is our pet of the week this week. He's really sweet. You can see a little bit more about him on our website. But he enjoys obedience training, and we really do think that he's very smart. His only non-negotiable is he'd prefer to not have any cats at home.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's your home, he's available at our Long Beach location. And then Red, he's super, super sweet. He's a 10-year-old Dachshund mix. He's just looking to go home. He'd like a calm adult home. And I mean, I think what he'd really like to do is just sort of like Netflix and chill with you in a really like wholesome way. I feel like he's built for quarantine. He wants to just hang. So, take a look at him on our website, apply to adopt. He would just love to just be home forever.
I have to tell you, you just saw Bronny and Vinny, so they're dachshunds, and I got them from the All-American Dachshund Rescue. Okay, so they are super excited that I've been home for the last, I don't know, 4 weeks. I mean, that's just, yeah, that's what dachshunds do. They just want to snuggle and watch TV, and
Yeah.
yes, totally understand that, but they're so dang cute. Actually, Maximus looks like our husky, that's on the label, Mika, but just, yeah, beautiful
that,
dogs.
yeah.
Right? Aw. So tell me, how can people help? I mean, I know what we're trying to do, but how can people help?
Well, sure. I mean, I think number one right now, obviously, buy some wine, right? So,
Right.
for us, I can vouch for it. It's really amazing wine. I hope that everybody buys lots of it. But there are also other ways that you can help. If you have the means and you're able to, we certainly welcome online donations. That's the thing that's the most needed at the moment. But you can also donate goods. We do have a way you can contact free drop off goods. And then the other things you can do, adopt. That's something that's really important. If it might be the right time for you, come in and adopt. If you can't adopt, share, an adoptable pet. Tell your friends. There are a lot of concrete ways that you can help, and spreading the word is one of the biggest ones. And then, you can even help us while you're shopping. If you shop at Ralph's, for example, you can just enter us in as your charity of choice. Or if you need to get pet supplies that are for your pets at home, we do still offer pet supplies by appointment at our Long Beach facility. So you can just go to our website, spcaLA.com, and place an order.
That's great. Now I see this. I mean, I know that the slide that was just up, there's a lot of wording on that, but basically spcaLA is essential. You guys are doing an amazing job, and we can get through this together. I mean, it's just going to take time. We're all doing what we need to do, but I'm glad that there are organizations such as yours who are just helping, those animals who don't have a voice. It's important. It is essential. I actually had a question. So, these they have a lot of toys or a lot of just things. Did you say that people can donate if they have toys or bedding or?
We're right now asking for brand new items, like brand new toys, brand new blankets and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Pet food and enrichment like treats and chews and that sort of thing are most needed. Typically, we would love your gently used blankets and towels and that sort of thing, but just given the situation, we're asking people if you have those to donate, just hold on to them for a little while, and we'll be able to figure out how we can start accepting those.
Okay, good. That's really great to know. Really, really great to know, and it totally makes sense. So that was a little bit of a call to action on how the general public can help, and thank you. Yes, buy wine so that Nectar can donate back. For starting, let's see, orders placed today until April 16th, we are going to donate 10% of all sales to spcaLA. So please visit us at nectarofthedogswine.com. All of the wine is on there. You can buy individual bottles, you can buy cases. If you don't see what you want on the website, email me or Monica, and we're happy just to try to put together whatever you want. We do ship anywhere in California and Nevada. We'll do some limited delivery if it's in the LA or Ventura area. So we're just, really here trying to sell the wine so that we can give back. Please be sure to follow us at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, Instagram and Facebook. Of course, spcaLA.com is where you can find all the information that Miriam just mentioned, and then you can follow them also at spcaLA. So Miriam, I really want to thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. This is kind of just a trial and error that we're doing, but hopefully we can continue to spread the word, share these messages, continue to grow, and maybe bring you back in, I don't know, a couple of weeks and see what's happened, if the dogs have gotten adopted or if there's any updates. So cheers to you. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter.
Here.
And I look forward to collaborating on a live event soon, but for now, this is what we have. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of wraps it up for this week. And, next week we're going to be featuring Christine Downs from Bark Party. It's another organization. They specialize in placing senior dogs with senior citizens, but then they also they specialize in placing senior dogs, and then they help with the needs of the senior dogs because, senior dogs might have issues, medical needs and stuff. So Christine's going to talk a little bit more next week But I just wanted to say, if you are a charity organization or if you know of a charity dog organization and you want to be on here with us, please email me or Monica, and we're happy to have you on here. So thank you guys. Monica, thanks for joining again.
Anytime.
Cheers on the mailbag. Yeah, next Friday. Next Friday at 5, we'll be here, as I mentioned, with Christine Downs and Bark Party. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Good Friday. Happy Passover. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope the sun comes out. Cheers, and may dogs continue to bless your life. Thanks, guys.